Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the Builder's Diaries, where I build a business and a body at the same time. Today, we're just going to be talking about the business, and I'm going to do something a little bit differently. I'm going to talk about one thing and one thing only. And that one thing today is going to be all about my takeaways from Funnel Hacking Live International. I just gave up everything. I put my life on hold the last 4 days. I didn't do a single thing. I didn't work. I could barely even meal prep, you guys. And I gave up everything to do this Funnel Hacking Live International. So what was it? Was it worth it? And what were my takeaways? I'm going to tell you all about that in this video. So Funnel Hacking Live International, if you don't know what that is Russell Brunson, I don't know how to exactly say it. His big, epic software convention kind of like yearly meeting that he does for his community. It's a community building thing for his ClickFunnels program. So he is the creator of ClickFunnels, and ClickFunnels is a sales funnel software that basically helps online business owners get their services and get their products out to people and sell them faster, easier, better, all that just automated in their sleep. Super great. When I first learned about sales funnels, I learned about, Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels and sales funnels and the ability of what they actually do. I was blown away, you guys. I was like, I want to learn more. And I have been on a journey ever since then to learn more. I'm actually a certified funnel builder in a different program. So interesting to me is I'm not a ClickFunnels user. At all. I'm just a huge fan of Russell Brunson. I've read all of his books. I listen to his podcast every single day if I can. I listen to every single episode that I've gone back, and every single day I'm driving to work, I listen to his podcast. I love him. I love everything he comes out with. I think he's brilliant. Honestly, I think if you are someone that sells something online, I think you need to listen to him. I think you need to read from him. I think you need to learn from him. He has 3 books that are really life-changing for a lot of people. And his last book that he did, not his last book, but his most last book in that trilogy is called Expert Secrets. And Expert Secrets is life-changing. So I highly recommend that. Traffic Secrets is another one, and .com Secrets is his first one. So those are all really, really good books. After that, he's done Linchpin, and he's done some other ones. So there's a lot of books he's doing. He's writing another one right now, more about personal development. So to see him go from kind of that sales marketing, this is what you do, this is how I've grown $1 billion business, into more personal development, because you guys, it's mindset. It's all mindset. It's like the skills aren't that hard to do what you need to do, but it happens right up here. It's all mindset. And so getting back to that and teaching the entrepreneurs that, because really that's that missing puzzle piece, is you can really help users with a product and that mindset. So he's just brilliant. So I signed up for Funnel Hacking Live International. Funnel Hacking, it was the 9.5 one. So it was not in person. Normally they're in person. So if you think of like Tony Robbins, like these are these giant 5,000 people, like lights everywhere, productions, there's like a rock concert going on. This is what Funnel Hacking Live is normally. And this time it was online. So I was like, hey, I'll do it from the comfort of my own home. Let me see what it's like. I'm not a funnel hacker user, but I love everything he says, because this wasn't really specifically geared towards you have to do this in ClickFunnels only. It was like, cool, you can kind of apply these principles to other funnels that you're building, and so it was great for me. There was a lot of specific things about the program, which was cool, but also, more just general broad stuff for everybody. There was motivation, there was personal development, there was actual hands-on skill training. So there was a kind of a mix of everything, which was really cool. And I really liked it. So I signed up, I did it. It started basically on Tuesday night. Tuesday night was like a kickoff, a tech kickoff. And he kind of through this whole series, he learned that that's the best way to do it. And it was so brilliant to me because it's so smart. You have 10,000 people that are signed up for your online event, and it's supposed to kick off on one day. What happens if people have technical issues, don't know how to get in? What if you have technical issues? Why don't you work that out the day before? So that to me was like, this is freaking brilliant, like brilliant. So he had us jump on Tuesday night, and it was like, hey, here's the schedule. I'm excited, blah, blah. It was like 10 minutes, but it was like, okay, here, you got in, you know how to use it. We're working, our sound is working. And so it was kind of to work over those technical issues that could happen right at the beginning. So that was cool. So then Tuesday night, that happened from 4 to like 4:30 or so. Wednesday night, it started and kicked off at 4:00 my time. So everything I'm talking about in times is California time, and actually the same time as the event, because the event was held in Vegas. He actually held the event at Eric Worre's studio, and it's this huge giant studio where they have all these Zoom screens on the wall. And I have done an event before with Eric Worre. I think my first online event about maybe 2.5 years ago, maybe 3 years. I don't know exactly how long, maybe 3 years ago. And I remember I was so scared I didn't even want to turn my camera on. So for the entire GoPro event that Eric Worre had, I didn't turn my camera on. And they went into breakout groups and I didn't really want to mingle with people. So I would just get out and do my own thing during that time. And I have transformed so much because during this event, you had to have your camera on. Like they would basically kick you out if you didn't. And if you weren't in your screen, they would turn your camera off and then put a pop up on your screen saying, the admin wants you to turn your camera on. So you couldn't really watch it. You kind of had to have your camera on, you had to be in screen, you had to be paying attention. And you were up on screen, so when they were actually talking, I could see myself behind them, in screen. So it was like, okay, I have to, be paying attention. I have to be doing this. So it wasn't like something where, you can't be on it. So it was funny to see that growth for me because I was so scared when I first got into this, when I got into network marketing, and I just kind of have transformed as a person and as a business person in the last years that I've been doing this, and it was cool to see like, okay, cool, I can do this. I like this. And I was eating watermelon, some people don't want to eat on camera. And I'm like, I don't care. I'll eat watermelon. I'll play with my cat. I put my, projected up on my TV. So it was big and I was just on my couch and you could just literally see me doing everything in there. So I took a ton of notes and I wanted to kind of go through my notes a little bit, but I'm going to walk through the different days and things that I learned and maybe touch on some things. Maybe it'll spring some things in you or spur some things in you as well. But yeah, the first day started at 4 o'clock and it went from 4 till I think it was 4 to 7. I actually wrote down the end times on almost every single day because I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, it was really good on the first day because there was a girl that came out and it was more hands-on technical learning. And so that's what I really liked about this is because I've done network marketing 4-day conventions. I've done corporate meeting, these quarterly corporate meeting, rah team meetings. I've done that before. I've done network marketing, big, giant, the entire company coming into like a convention for the yearly convention that they do. So, and I've done, smaller meetings. I've done lots of different types of meetings for these things. And so it was so cool to see he blended the perfect blend of, how to and inspiration and all of it, so it was really cool to see that. I think if he would have added the breakout groups, it would have just been almost perfect because you would have built the community. That's the thing I think that was missing. He had the school group, which was great because he had school group going on. So people were constantly commenting in there and their ahas and their takeaway after every single speaker. So that was cool because you were able to connect with people in there and talk to them. So that was the community aspect they had. So there was no breakout groups. There was a lot of speakers. It was 32 hours, you guys, of just speeches, basically, and inspiration and motivation and training. And I took a lot of notes, did a lot of things. I learned basically how to funnel hack and that step-by-step process. And funnel hacking is not really copying. It's basically going and finding about maybe 15 to 20 different pages that are doing something really similar in your niche or something that are doing really well in your niche and basically looking at 9 different things and saying, okay, what are the commonalities? What are the commonalities in the images? What is in common for the titles? What is in common for the margins? Like what is in common for the background and colors? Like what are the things that I'm seeing that are in common that are doing well? And let me mimic that and put that in my page. So that was cool because now I have a step-by-step checklist of exactly what to look for because I kind of know, but now it's like, cool, I can put this in a spreadsheet and I can literally track this and say, okay, this page has this page has this. Throw that into ChatGPT and say, hey, can you find the commonalities for me and have that kind of really analyze the data, take that, and I can understand it deeper. So I'm going to do that. That's my number one takeaway from this is, okay, Kelly, you got a funnel hack. I'm going to funnel hack my funnel and I'm going to make it look really good. I'm going to optimize it really well. Once I funnel hack my funnel, I'm going to throw it back into ads and see how it does, and see if I get different numbers off of it. So I'm excited to do that. That was a huge takeaway and I was really excited they did that. So it went till, okay, here it is. So it went from 4 to 8:17 on Wednesday. So that was kind of the first mini half day. Thursday was the first full day and it started at 9 a.m. in the morning. So I was ready, definitely ready. They went through, it was kind of cool because he went through a new tool that they released and this tool is free. And the tool isn't just for ClickFunnels users. So I was able to get this tool, download this tool. I'm going to use this tool because there's some actually really cool things in this tool that I can use. So I was excited about that. There was some really good just inspiration, a lot of a lot of speakers, most of the speakers that were speaking were billionaires. These people, billionaires, they made a lot of money. These people at minimum have made $1 million with their funnel at minimum. And they probably have 2 or 3 different funnels that they've done this in. So these people were worth listening to because they know what's working and they know what was working right now. So they shared a lot of that, which was really, really, really cool. I'm just kind of like flipping through like whatever I think the best thing about these type of events is during the event, it got me like, oh my God, I could do that. And so I had out my phone next to me in ChatGPT. And so I'm writing down like, I could do this and do this and do this. And so I was like, hey, why don't I go down this route or this route, And so it spurs those ideas. And that was the cool thing about being immersed around entrepreneurs for 4 days was it got my wheels turning a lot. Like I really got my wheels turning, you guys. And it was really cool in a really good way. So it was cool. They also, what else do they had? They talked about, basically he walked through the funnels and how to do the funnels and how to structure it perfectly. And I was like, okay, I need to kind of change mine and do this and do this. So I learned that. I think that was the end of that day. So on Friday, so yeah, Thursday, it went from 9 a.m. to 7, I think it was like 7:45 or so at night. And then there was a lunch break in there. So there was no dinner break. There was no lunch break. Or there was an hour lunch break. And so I went for a walk during my hour lunch break. So I got out of the house, which was nice. But it was good. And it was just a lot. It was like when you're just watching basically constant learning or motivation and it's just to your brain, you're just like, whoa, this is a lot, So I got off, did that Friday, it starts again. It starts at 9 a.m. again on Friday. And Friday is the longest day, you guys. Friday, it went until, I think I wrote it down because I was like, this was so long. Friday, it went until 9:16 at night. So it was a long one on Friday, but it was really, really good. There was a lunch break. There was a dinner break. And Friday was where he kind of shifted the tone a little bit into more selling because the purpose of a big event like this is I was in a funnel, I was in the middle of a funnel. Like basically like the whole purpose of this live event is to push people into a higher paid offer. And so that was when he pitched his offer. And I wasn't even mad. That I sat through an hour and a half presentation because he broke it down. He was like, hey guys, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pitch you on this offer, basically telling us that, hey, I'm going to sell you on this $25,000 offer. But I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm doing it. I'm going to break down my slides and tell you why I'm doing it and why the slides are done like this. And so he did it. It was kind of cool because he would talk about it and then he'd be like, okay, I'm going into character. And then he would do his slides and then he would kind of flip out of character and say, okay, this is why we did this. And did you see this, this pitch and this here and, me reflecting or this, and all the things that he was doing because he's freaking brilliant, you guys. And so it was cool to see how he did the perfect webinar and he broke it down like that because he pitched you and he pitched people on a $10,000 offer at the end. So he was saying at the beginning, he was like, yeah, I'm going to pitch you on something $25,000. So all of us at the beginning were like, he's going to pitch us on something expensive. At the end, he's like, oh, it's actually 10,000. So a lot of people signed up for this new program he has, which is a pretty cool program. Wasn't really something I was looking for at the time. Not for me, not right for me. So that was kind of the set the tone. About the middle of the day, he pushed that out. And so then after that, a lot of the presentations kind of went back to that, and like the end of it kind of went back, oh, you should join this program, and so that was interesting. And so Saturday was the last day. That was yesterday. But yeah, Friday was so much. Like I was just like, oh my God, 9:16 at night. That's way past my bedtime. It had gone from 9 in the morning to 9:16 at night. I was like, I'm done. So I turned off the thing, turned off my computer and went straight to bed. Like I was done. I was like, this is a lot. So yesterday was more about like, okay, you got the tools, you learned the sales skills, you learned that. Now, like, what do you do from there? So it was more the motivation. Where do you go from here? And so there was a lot of like ex-pro NFL players like speaking and motivating, a lot of that. So it was cool. Yesterday it went until about 4:15. So in total, it was about 32 hours of I had to be in front of my computer. I had to be paying attention, but it was great, you guys. I had some really good takeaways. So for me, I think I already told you I'm going to be funnel hacking. I'm going to be going through the step-by-step process. I think I also learned that I want to, work with people more. I think community is important. I think collaborating with people is important. I think getting out of my comfort zone and getting out more and meeting more people and bringing more people into my life is what I really need to do. So as we were doing that, I looked on Meetup and I found something I'm going to go to this month. And so just to stretch myself a little bit more, just to get out, meet new people, I think I needed to be doing that. I need to be around more people. I need to be around more entrepreneurs. This is the path for me to actually meet my dream man, because I will be meeting my dream man hopefully soon, one day, coming. Not one day, it's going to happen actually pretty soon. So I can feel it. I'm becoming that person that I want to attract, and you have to be the person that you want to attract. I am becoming that person I want to attract. That person that's super driven, that doesn't take no for an answer, that knows that there's something more out there for themselves. I am becoming that person, and I may not have the income behind it right now, but it's coming, you guys. It is coming because I'm putting the effort in, and you're seeing this effort that it takes. It takes so much effort, but most of all, it takes this mindset and changing this mindset. So the event that I went to really helps to change that mindset, and it was great. It was really good. So yesterday I actually wanted to jump on. I wanted to talk about takeaways and kind of what it was and what I experienced and all that kind of stuff. But it was hard because I just got really emotional. It was over, and it was just like, bam. Now I have to go back to my life. Now I have to go back to my job. Now I have to go back to, building this thing and working with people, and I don't have this community. And it was like, it hit me. I started crying. I lost it. I got so emotional yesterday because I'm going to get emotional now. I learned so much, and it was just like, bam, and that's why they have that thing, is because, okay, now you need to join his program and you can keep going. And it's like, they do that. But it was a lot, and I think mentally it was a lot for me. Emotionally, it was a lot for me because, I know, like, I'm not where I want to be, but I know that I can get there. And that's the cool thing, is I know I can get there. I know I'm going to get there, and I feel it. I know it's going to happen. So that's what's the cool thing. I decided I'm probably not going to attend Funnel Hacking Live. Funnel Hacking Live is going to be the real big one, like the 5,000 person one in person is going to be in Vegas over February. The same thing, those Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday before, all that. And I'm just like, I don't want to go to Vegas. I don't know if I want to do that whole thing, but Tony Robbins is actually going to be a speaker, and he did announce it's the last time that he's doing this big thing, because he is shifting, as a, trainer and mentor and person. He's shifting into more personal development. And so I don't see Funnel Hacking Live being what it was and what it was at all, really, this last one. But it was incredible, you guys. And I think one of the things that kept hitting me was the use of stories. Every single speaker used stories. Every single speaker used stories in a way that you could relate to that story, and you could understand what they were saying every single time. And so it was just repetition of the hook story offer. Like, it was so much repetition of how to speak to people, how to talk to people, how to really make people understand and feel what you're talking about. And it was so much of that. And so I'm like, okay, I got to use more stories. And they talked about why we make decisions, and all that kind of stuff. And it goes back to stories, our subconscious buys on stories, and it's that emotional buy. And so going back to that was a huge reminder. And then just seeing, these people and just these billionaires, being around them and seeing how do they act, how do they move, how do they speak, how do they carry themselves. And it's just cool to see that, so I highly encourage you, if you've never been to some sort of, learning event like this, or 3-day training, or 1-day training, or all-day training, or some sort of mentorship, or, mastermind, or whatever, try it. It's well worth it. I think it's great. I've been to some that are really good. I've been to some that are not so good that I left but this one was fantastic. So if you're an online marketer, consider going to Funnel Hacking Live in person in Vegas. And this is not sponsored. I'm not even probably going to go, but I was impressed. And I actually might consider it. We'll see. But for me, it's probably about a $1,600 trip between the hotel and the place to stay, also the gas, and the cat person to watch her. So yeah, it's actually probably close to a $2,000 trip. And that's not really what I was looking to do this year. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. All right, guys, take care. I'll be back with another update soon.